You're here at the TimeZone Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the TimeZone Podcast. Hope everyone's doing well. And if you haven't listened to our last episode, go and check that out. And how are you girls?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back on here. I'm excited. So, how you doing, Ace?
Yo, this is episode 3. Sammy, I'm good. I'm episode 3. I'm happy.
And how's your week been, girls?
Shoot, I've been working like a meal. So I'm happy to just have like 2 days to myself. I'm ready for 4th of July. That's what I'm looking forward to. 4th of July.
Yeah, that's like a big thing in America, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's my brother's 30th birthday. So
big K. Shout out to Big K.
So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Me, to be honest with you, with everything that's been going on, I just needed a break. So I kind of had like a social media detox. So I kind of tried to stay off social media a bit more, like not get so wound up in my head and stuff like that. Really, I've just been chilling and relaxing. Really. What about you, Shan? What are you saying?
Same, really. I mean, I feel like social media, once you're in it, it can become very consumed, and it's hard to come out of it. Sometimes you find yourself in, like, you want to be in there 10 minutes, you're in there for an hour. So I think it's definitely good to have a detox and kind of spend some time reflecting on yourself as well. So let's start off with our first segment, What's Up With That, where we give you the latest hot topics, the latest gossip. And I recently saw a post on the Shade Room that said men be home wrecking too. Now, for me, I kind of felt a bit tricked, a bit misled over the years, or maybe I was just naive, but I didn't realize. So I'm gonna actually read it for you. So it says, so when a woman sings about taking a man, we're considered home wreckers. But when a man does it, we call it romantic. Now, when I read into it, there was a few like song clips, and we had like Bow Wow, My Baby, Pleasure P, Boyfriend Number 2. We had Chris Brown, Your Man Ain't Me. So I just wanted to know, like, is there like double standards in music? Is it okay? What do you guys think?
I think when you're young, you don't know what the hell's going on. So you kind of fall into this whole cycle. Are there double standards in music? I think so, honestly. I really do think so. I think for women, sometimes they get the shorter end of the stick when they're talking about, come over to like trying to seduce men and stuff like that. But I don't care. If a man does it or if a woman does it. If the song is bop, I'm there.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But 100%. I think there is double standards. Like Eunice said, when a woman talks about, getting another woman's man, it's done like she's like seducing him. It's like very sexual. It's it's very raunchy. But when a guy does it, it's like he's stopping her from an abusive relationship, and he's like the hero, and he's this. It's all bullshit. It goes back to that whole Adam and Eve thing. If you really think about it. Eve was the one who was very seductive. She was the one who kind of led him astray. But he's this good guy, and he don't want to do nothing. But it's because he followed her.
I think we make a lot of excuses for men. So even if we know that it's wrong, we kind of go like, oh yeah, but it was sweet, or he was trying to be nice, and then we fall into the trap. Yeah, that is trap. Okay?
To be honest with you though, I never really thought about it like that until they put that post up. Until I saw that post, I never really thought about it like that.
Me neither.
I never even realised. I mean, I guess when you actually think about the lyrics, yes, they are talking about like, breaking up someone's relationship. But really and truly, I never really realised, if that makes sense, until like literally last week.
I guess we could say it's also because they're doing it in such a sweet manner, like, girl, come over here, I got you.
Like when a man does it, he just wants to take over the girl and be with the girl, and that's it. But when a female does it, it comes across like she's trying to be sneaky. She wants to be there too, as well as the main person. Whereas a guy, he just takes it over. He's like, I just want you to be my girl, and I'm gonna rescue you from this shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with having 2 boyfriends if you can handle 2 boyfriends. So
okay, but do you think
I have one?
Do you think we're like partly to blame? Like, I was just wondering, do you think because we kind of say like we're unhappy in our relationship to another man, that's why they feel like they can come in and not ruin it, but take you away from that person? Do you think we should take some blame too?
I think it's also a mindset of like, for some females, like when they have issues within their relationship and then they go out and then they step out of their relationship, it's more of like they're lacking something in there. And some females, they completely leave that relationship. But I've also known of other females who also have that side nigga. Like, okay, I get the emotional from this guy, and I get the sexual from this guy. Yeah, and honestly, power to you, girl. Do you. I support you. I support.
Okay, so talking about relationships, and like, you know, not knowing when to leave or whatever it may be. Let's talk about Faith Evans. Okay, so obviously last week she was actually arrested on charges for domestic violence. So for those who don't know, she's married to Stevie J, who's also on Love and Hip Hop. I don't know, maybe we love Love and Hip Hop. Like,
it's good TV. It's the TV.
So apparently she actually got into an altercation with Stevie J, right? She's now been released. But when reporters asked Stevie J if there was, like, you know, trouble in paradise, he said, and I quote, "That's my wife. I love her. I'm not going anywhere." Okay, so he's made it very clear that he loves and he supports his wife and he's not going anywhere. Okay, so my question to you ladies is, how do you guys feel about this? Because let's be real, if a guy was to hit a female, for example, Chris Brown, we would all be there going, leave him. So my thing is just like, how come, I feel like the story was there and then it just disappeared. No one's talking about it.
Yeah.
So why is that?
We have to recognize it is Faith Evans. Like, she carries some weight in her own right. Okay. But to your question as to, you know, if a man was to hit us or whatever, absolutely, I would fucking walk away. But I also think Stevie J has gone through all these women in his life, and now he's found the one that he truly, truly loves. And Faith Evans happens to be that woman. Like, I know for a long time he's been chasing her, even while she was Biggie.
So what does that mean, though? What I'm trying to say is, I personally feel like maybe the reason why the story isn't being brought up enough is because Stevie J is like slimy. Do you understand? So everyone kind of feels like if he got hit, then good.
He got hit.
You know, but we shouldn't be like that. At the end of the day, if it's domestic abuse, it's domestic abuse. We should have the same type of energy that we have for females, for men.
I mean, I feel like in domestic violence, I feel like a lot of people, they do go back into that relationship until they reach to the point where it's like, I can't take this anymore, or it's like a threat to my life sort of thing. I feel like if it does get to that stage, then I think he would walk away. But for now, I think he might weigh up the pros and cons and think, okay, you know what, there's actually this, but regardless of that, the relationship is good in other ways, so I'll stay there.
And also we don't know what's going on in their relationship. Like, we're not into it. We don't know if this is like
okay, she put her hands on him, but did he cheat and she got angry?
What provoked it? Like, I mean, you've seen Love and Hip Hop Inc. Like, her character isn't like,
she's very calm
out there. She's very calm. So it makes you think, like, what happened? Like, and I hate to say that, because if it was flipped with the woman, we wouldn't be asking what happened.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like, for example, like when Solange hit Jay-Z, everybody had jokes because it was so funny. When Bow Wow got into it with his girl last year, everybody had jokes because it's so funny. Like, why is it like when a man gets like hit or whatever, we're keying? But if he was to do that to a female, we have a problem with it. That was like my point.
Maybe because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but maybe it's because we see men as stronger and they're supposed to take it. Like,
but why?
It's society. Like, you know, just like they see women as so like feminine and like, don't hit a woman, she's gonna break, don't touch her, blah blah blah. We see men as like, oh, you're strong, I can beat you 300 times and you're supposed to stay there. Like, it's just a warped mindset. Find a good way to step out of that relationship. If it's truly,
do men step out of that relationship? How do they step out?
Once they're getting beaten.
Yeah, once they're getting beaten. Yeah.
Same way a female would.
Yeah.
To end the relationship.
Do you think it's the same? I don't think it is.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's the same.
Why don't you think it's the same?
Because like what Eunice was saying, like men, like they're seen as like the more dominant one. They should take it, sort of thing. And I feel like for them to step out of it, people like outside looking in are looking at, oh, like you know, you could have stayed, or you could have done this, or you could have done that. I feel like for females, it's very not easy, but the way they step out of a relationship is completely different to the way a male steps out.
It's no business.
Yeah.
That's why I say I think it can be the same, because like, why are you telling people why you broke up? To me, that's childish anyway. Like, we're not together, we're not together. Unless I know you, like, I call Eunice, I'm like, Eunice, this is the reason. Shanice, this is the reason.
Yeah.
That's different. Do you know what I mean? But just random people, I'm not going to be saying, oh, yeah, he was boxing me up left, right, and centre. That's embarrassing.
I think for men too, like, they can't step away from that relationship, because what's gonna happen if a man chooses to stay and choose to respect that you're a woman, I don't want to beat you, like, I'm not gonna do the same thing to you. What's gonna happen if they stay is that they're gonna get fed up, and then they're gonna start beating your ass, and then you're gonna go out there and be like, oh, he hitting me. No, honey, you hit him first.
You know, there's some couples that are like that. They love it. They fight with each other. They fucking love it, mate.
That was Jocelyn and
Stevie.
That was Jocelyn and Stevie J. Like, they love that shit. Like, they got off of that shit. And now he's with Faith Evans, who knows how to dish it out well. Moving on. So, did you guys see the post that Diddy posted on June 12th? Let me fill you in, okay? So Diddy posted, and I have my notes here just because I want to make sure I give you all the tea. Diddy posted this hashtag I Take Responsibility campaign that is in partnership with NAACP, okay? And it featured a bunch of actors like Sarah Paulson, Aaron Paul, Kristen Bell, Justin Theroux, and just to name a few, but there was a bunch of them in the video, right? And it was pretty much actors, all famous actors, taking responsibility for all the unchecked moments of racial injustice.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility for every unchecked moment, for every time it was easier to ignore than to call it out for what it was.
Every not so funny joke. Every unfair stereotype.
To me, I think that's bullshit. Like, we've been fighting for almost a month now over racial injustice, and now you just made a video. Now you care, and we're supposed to care? Like, I feel like it's bullshit. Like, we don't need you to care. We care about our own situations. Like, that's how I feel on that. I just think it's bullshit. I don't need that.
Just to confirm, just so that people know, all of the actors that were in that were Caucasian, right?
They were all Caucasian. There was not one black person in the video. So to me, it's just like, how can you say you're doing something for a whole race and there's not one that represents us in the video? And then you make the video in black and white. Like,
I mean,
what are you saying?
Okay, one, I don't agree with the video, but to play the advocate,
okay,
that's what I like to do.
Okay.
Could it be that the reason why there was no colour in that video is because the video was about people taking responsibility?
That's a good question. That could be the reason why, but I feel like you should still think, if you're talking about for me, if you're talking about something that has to do with me, I want to be involved in it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a black person should have been there to kind of show solidarity that we all in the movie making business, black, white, we all take responsibility, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel weird about the video. Like, I just feel like okay, because actors care, now we care. Like, you should have just sat down, like, stay quiet. Why did you have to make a whole video about it? And maybe it's because it was in partnership with the whole black and NAACP, which is like pro-black and everything. Maybe that's why they put only Caucasian people in there. I just found it very weird and distasteful, in my opinion.
I think, go on, Shams, I can see you guys.
Yeah, because there's so many points, but like when you said about emotions, I mean, if it was supposed to be an emotional video, it didn't come across that way to me. I didn't feel moved. You know, like sometimes, you don't feel moved. I don't feel touched. But I didn't feel any of that. So I think I was quite cringe. Like, I was like, yeah, this is making me feel not necessarily uncomfortable, but I was like, is this necessary, sort of thing. Like, I didn't really, and it was too scripted for me. Like, it was just too, if they all said like a piece of something, but it was like, I take responsibility. I don't know, it was just too scripted.
I take responsibility. Yeah. I take
and then their facial expressions were so strong.
Yeah.
Like,
it came across like they were acting. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think for me, what made it really cringeworthy, I couldn't put my finger on it for ages, but I think what annoyed me was that it came across as, do you remember when everyone was doing the Don't Rush challenge? It came across as if to say it was some type of fad. It was some type of, so now what? Are all white people going to start doing I take responsibility?
I take responsibility.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the problem with that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it if they wanted to really truly show that they stand with the Black Lives Matter movement, it shouldn't have taken a whole video with you and your peers to do it. Like, I feel like you're following the masses now. You should have made your own video on your own platform saying something.
It just should have been more tasteful. It just should have been.
Yeah.
It's just whoever coupled it together and the idea of it was just wrong.
It was just wrong. I didn't like it. I felt really uncomfortable watching it. I'm just like, why did you have to do it in black and white too?
I'm not here for this fake solidarity, with these people. I'm really not, because you have people like Joe Biden who want to be kneeling down with Black Lives Matter protesters, but in these times he'll literally go say something ignorant 10 minutes later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same with Starbucks. Like, you don't want them to wear Black Lives Matter t-shirts in your restaurants, but now because you've been called out on it, you're now like, well, actually we've ordered some and that's why we didn't want it. What kind of
It's bullshit. And do you know what's gonna happen? I bet you, give Black Twitter maybe a week, maybe less than a week. One of these actors that were in that video they're gonna have like old twist of them saying, oh, the N-word or racial slurs and everything. And then we're gonna be looking at them like, nigga, you know you didn't mean that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, why?
Okay, let me not be bad. I get the sentiment, but I don't believe it.
It just came across fake. It came across like the fake solidarity, like just this whole fake essence was just pure. And because I think maybe because they're actors as well, it came across like they were acting just
doing what they do best.
Do you know the person that got me the most out of the video was Aaron Paul? If you don't know who Aaron Paul is a guy that did the movie where the chemistry teacher was making drugs.
Breaking Bad.
So big. Breaking Bad, yeah.
Movie.
Series, whatever. So if you don't know who Aaron Paul is one of the main characters from Breaking Bad. His face is so strong and I take responsibility. I'm just like, bruh, calm down.
I saw that face. I remember it now.
I mean,
calm down.
I think taking responsibility is what you do in private, not when you're doing what you're doing out. Is like what I said last week. Are you going to be that person to check your friend, your cousin, your auntie, your granddad? Are you going to say, no, you can't say that, that's racist, that's wrong, you shouldn't be saying that? Are you going to be that person? That's how you take responsibility. So a friend of mine, he was telling me how basically the area that he lived in was very white dominated. He was like the only black person around the area, kind of went to school there. Anyway, one white boy who used to go to his school reached out to him and was like, oh, like, I'm apologizing. I'd like to apologize for anything I've said that has been insensitive or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I thought it was nice that he randomly messaged him and found him on Instagram and was like, hey, like, I'd like to apologize. But at the same time, you've probably done so many other things, yeah? Are you going to reach out to every black person and just put that? Like, what can you actually remember what you've done? That's what I
exactly.
Are you just apologizing for apologizing? Are you doing
like
that?
You felt
obligated to do it.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I made you feel some type of way. Or are you actually saying, do you know what? I apologize for calling you a nigger in year 9. I apologize for da-da-da. Like, are you... Say that. If you're going to apologize, really say what you're apologizing for. Don't just say I'm apologizing.
Because that's going to mean more to that guy than him just saying I apologize for something that I may have not
Do you know what I mean? Because to me, it's like, you're apologizing, but it's fake. Like, come with it. What did you say? Say it. What did you say? That
you
time
remember.
we were in break and I said this, or do
you
know what I mean? I referred to you as this, or I made a joke and I did. Say it.
Yeah, that's gonna signify to me that, damn, you really carried that shit with you, like, and you understand the significance of what you said, and I respect and accept that apology.
Exactly.
Don't come up to me saying I'm sorry.
I feel like with this video, I feel like they've done it to almost kind of save their backs from any comments that might come up. So it's like, oh no, like, you know, I feel like that was what it was done.
Bro,
I would appreciate a video more, not taking responsibility, maybe what you're going to do now, like what are you going to do in the future, what are you going to change. I feel like most people would be more appreciative of that rather than, okay, I take responsibility. That doesn't say what are you going to change now.
Exactly. What responsibility? What responsibility?
You could have said so many things and you just said I take responsibility for it, but for what
I'm really
part
surprised that Diddy even posted that, to be honest with you. And I think Hollywood is just confused in themselves. Like, the line has been drawn, whether we like it or don't like it. People who we thought were okay and maybe not that way, their true colours have come out now. The line has been drawn. So let's not add to it, or let's not like fake it and try and paint certain people as nice when they're not.
Yeah.
Really and truly, they weren't forced to do that video, would they do it? Take real accountability is what we're saying. I think that's what the girls at TimeZonePodcast
are saying.
Guys,
be accountable.
Definitely.
Accountability and know what you're apologizing for.
Welcome back to TimeZonePodcast.
This is the illest part of the show that I love, and it's called That's Not It, or Ooh, That's Lit. Before we start, I will go ahead and tell you where I stand on this before I even give you the deets. I'm saying that's not it. And that's because B. Simone recently had an interview with Nick Cannon on his podcast. And if you don't know who B. Simone is, she's this girl that went viral for, he's my boyfriend. If you don't know who that is, go do your research. So she had an interview with Nick Cannon where he asked her, oh, what do you want in a man, or what are you looking for in your future man, right?
He can't have a 9-to-5.
What? Why not? You don't want him to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
so
like, he can't clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn, B.
I think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic,
I'm sure, but no, you're not gonna understand my lifestyle. You're not gonna understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
Damn, you're making this hard for me. Okay, all right.
You know, he has to be an entrepreneur,
a business owner. He getting one of them stimulus packages from Donald Trump, one of them small business loans, and he ain't buying jewelry with it.
Or moving into that direction.
Yeah.
I found that statement very almost condescending, because she made a generalized statement, okay? There's nothing wrong with women having preferences, but we already don't date men that ain't got no job. Now you're gonna cancel the one that work 9 to 5?
Yeah.
So on that note, I'm saying that's not it for her. And then to add to that, she had a whole follow-up with her friend Light Skin Keisha. If you don't know who Light Skin Keisha is, she's a very loudmouth girl on Love and Hip Hop. She's a new
light skinned.
She's light skinned. Like, so she called herself
Keisha.
Keisha. And they were going back and forth, and Light Skin Keisha was coming to her defense, saying that, oh, we don't get on men's neck when they say they want a thick girl, big ass, and all of that, but they want to get on B. Simone's back when she said she doesn't want a man who works 9 to 5. Both of y'all can have several fucking seats. Both of them are canceled to me. So I don't.
Hold on a minute. Because when I cancelled someone last week, you bitches had a problem with it. You bitches had a problem with it. So, you should cancel people. You had to cancel.
I'm calling them out. Like she said, like Shanice said, I'm calling them out. I'm not going to cancel them, but I just feel like both of them get a, that's not it.
I can agree with you on this. I can agree with you. I can definitely agree with you. I mean, a man with a job is better than a man with no job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if he has several incomes, that's even better. But I would love, if he has a 9 to 5.
We're just asking for too much. I think what you need to say as females, instead of saying stuff like he shouldn't have a 9 to 5 or he needs to have a job or whatever it is, he needs to be matching what I'm doing. And that's the energy we need to do. If you ain't got no job, don't be expecting a man to have a job. Because why are you not working? That's number one. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Number two, was it Light Skin Keisha who was like, oh, no one gets onto guys when they say they like a guy. That's bullshit.
Yes.
We constantly get upset about it. So why are you lying?
Yeah,
we do.
We constantly get upset about it. That's a lie. Come on, girl.
And then you gotta think
support what you're saying. You sound dumb.
Like, if that's your friend, tell her the real deal. Don't lie to her face. Do not lie to her face. And you gotta realize B. Simone came from a 9 to 5 job, and then she became famous off of one thing. So how you gonna cancel men who actually work? She said, in her words, was that she needs someone that's gonna be on a CEO status. 9 to 5 people make CEO status sometimes, girl. You just gotta look hard. Like,
humble beginnings.
But doesn't 9 to 5 just mean like you do a certain amount of hours? Doesn't even mean like I'm confused.
Doesn't determine how much you earn.
Yeah.
Oh, I need stuff like that.
Especially
when you came from a 9 to 5 yourself, like, please remember
where you're even earning that much money. Like, okay, cool, you're on Nick Cannon. You're on Nick Cannon, you've been on a couple of shows, you might have a couple of, you're not earning that much money yet for you to open your mouth and say ignorant stuff like that. You sound stupid.
And she also said that, he's not gonna, if they're working 9 to 5, they're not gonna understand my hustle. What? 9 to 5 people hustle too. Like, do you think most of us are working 9 to 5 to pay for our hustles, to invest in our dreams? Like, what are you talking about?
On top of that, one thing I really cannot stand is job shaming. I can't stand that shit. Don't job shame someone. That's essentially, she's job shaming. That's what she's doing.
Absolutely.
Bitch! That's all I have to say to her. Bitch! Be ashamed of yourself, bitch!
And that's the same girl screaming from the rooftops that she need a boyfriend. Bitch, you ain't gonna find a boyfriend.
You're not gonna have one. That's what I'm saying. Lonely.
But isn't she the same person who keeps pressing what's that little boy called?
The baby.
He's fine as fuck. I don't know why I called him little boy, because he's fine. I can't be sure because he's honey. Okay. Isn't she the same person who keeps pressing the baby and the baby's got a girl, and you know you got a girl, but you still want to be hugging up and not to say I would now. Maybe kind of fine. Like, I know he's little, but I actually really like him. Even though he's
the baby, I think it's so funny too. I really think it's funny. I think it's very cute. So I'm showing that one.
But yeah, okay. So we're in agreement.
That's not it.
That's not it.
No.
Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back to the last segment of our show, and that is sharing is caring. Okay. So with that being said, I was on the internet yesterday, and I'm just looking. Yeah. I came across a website called Women's Health Mag. Okay. And they basically talk about love, etc. And I saw something that I don't know if I can believe or not. Okay, so basically on the website it says men typically wait 88 days before telling the person who they're with that they love them, whereas women wait 134 days before telling the person who they're with that they love them. So my question to you ladies is, one, how do you even know that you love them? So what is love? And when you have said to someone that you love them, who went first? Was it a guy or was it you guys? We'll start off like that.
I believe that statement. Okay, I actually do think females take longer. Like, I feel like they know they're in love, but they don't actually say it. I feel like a man will say it sooner, but females are very aware of their emotions, but they're very wary whether they should say it or not. So I think I've been in a situation where a guy has said I love you first. And even though I might feel like, I love you, I haven't said it just because I'm like treading carefully. That's for me. And then what is love? I feel like it's a number of things, and it's very hard to just explain it all at once. But for me, the main things are like security. I want that person to make me feel a certain way, and I want them to be in my corner. I want them to be my advisor. I want them to, like, if I have a problem, I can go and speak to them. If I need motivating, I want them to be there. So I feel like there's a number of things that I want that person to have. What about you, Eunice?
Oh, girl, you just deep with it, girl. So I'm gonna do the same thing you did. I'm gonna answer this reverse. So I will use myself as an example. All my relationships, the man has always gone first and told me he loves me. Right now, I say it back. The only person I've ever said it back to and meant it is my current boyfriend, and that's because to explain what love is for me, he made me feel secure. And you know, when someone, like, for example, if someone's going to go get a bottle of water and they bring one back for you even though you didn't ask, like, I don't have to ask you, you just know like what I need. Like he predicts my next move, and he's like, this is, you want this. Or just like you guys are, like, I call you when I need help. Like, he's my bitch up person. That's my keyword, bitch up. If I tell him I don't like this with my job, he's going to say, what are you going to do next? How are we going to fix it? He pushes me to think beyond my own little feelings. And that is love to me, because I've never had that. I've never had that. I think, women always go second when we say I love you. You don't want to go first in case you say I don't love you too. Shit. You make sure they go first.
That's fair enough.
You make sure they go first. But that's it for me.
This is very interesting. I typically would think that girls would say it first, but I guess it's like what you said, Shanice. We're aware of it, but we just don't say it first. So when she said that, I'm like, okay, cool. Me personally, I have never, to be honest, I don't even know about this whole love thing, because I feel like someone has told me that they love me before, although I'm just one of those people, if I don't love you, I can't say it back. And then also as well, before I say my own, when they said that they love you, was it face to face?
For me, always.
Or was it via phone?
Always face to face.
From what I can remember, it was over the phone.
So it was literally a conversation over the phone?
Yeah.
And he was like, I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, no one's ever told me they love me then.
Shit.
No one's told me that they love me.
Shit. Why? Why do you think so?
I don't know. I feel like I've been in love, but then again, I then think to myself, can you be in love if there's only one of you who's been in love? And I feel like that happened to me once. I was in love with someone, person was not in love with me. Do you know what I mean? Prior to that, I've had 2 people say that they love me, but I don't think I've ever had like a face-to-face I love
conversation.
Okay.
It's either been via like voice note or whatever, voice notes back in the day. It's been like that, but I've never personally had someone say, look, I love you, like da 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 da. But to me, if I don't like you like that, I'm not gonna entertain you for you to want to say it to me, because I know if you say it to me, you're gonna be upset when I don't say it back.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. So for me, my family, we're not big on saying I love you. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm very wary when it comes out of my mouth. So when I tell you, Inks, or you, Shan, I love you, it's because I legit love you. Y'all are my family. You get what I'm saying? So when a guy tells me I love you, especially the first guy I knew I was not in love with, and he said I love you to me, I was like, I am in like with you. I'm that bitch. I said I am in like with you. Like, it means I like you, but I don't love you. For me, that's what that means.
So have you or haven't you said it back? Because I think it's fine. I think some people feel awkward, and like not everyone can be like, sorry, I don't love you back. Like some people feel awkward and obligated, so they have to be like, I love you too, even though they know they don't.
No, so I have definitely said I love you back. Okay, and that was with, like I said, my current boyfriend, and we legitimately were having not even a conversation. It was more of like a moment, and it was just he just said, I am in love with you. I love you. And I was just like, whoa, I was feeling the same thing, but I'm glad you said it first.
Yeah.
And I said it back.
Sorry, Inks. I don't know if you answered the question about what is love. I didn't.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes, you did it.
Yeah, you slipped past that. Yeah, okay.
What is love? What is love? There's different types of love.
Way too many.
I think that's what people don't understand. There's a difference between having love for someone and being in love with someone. 2 very different things. Do you know what I mean? You can have love for someone, you'll do anything for them, you'll be there for them, and then you can actually be in love with someone where like that is it, it's unconditional. Like, it doesn't matter how many times they fuck up, don't matter nothing, you're always going to be there, like you just love them. But sometimes that can be dangerous. So I think love is dependent on who we're talking about and what the circumstances. That's the best way I can. It doesn't really describe love, but that's the best way. But my next question to you guys would have been, can it be love if the other person doesn't love you? So I said that, there was a guy who I liked, and I felt like I really loved him. I never said to him, I love you, but I literally was like, I think I love him type of thing. But is that love if that person doesn't love you? Because I personally don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
But some people argue.
I think
it is.
Why do you think it is? Why do you think it is?
Because I don't think it matters whether the person loves you back. If you love them enough. I mean, maybe you won't be in a relationship with them, but you still love them regardless of them not loving you back. I feel like, yes, a relationship works both ways, but if it's just for you to love them, then it definitely can just be you.
You're asking really, really difficult questions here, girl. The fuck? So I'm kind of split in the middle. I kind of agree with Shanice, but then again, a part of my brain is like, no. And the reason why I agree with Shanice is because, maybe if one person is in love and the other person is not, it can't be love. Because when 2 people do fall in love and one person falls out of love, doesn't mean the other person is still not, doesn't mean the person falls out of love too. The person is still in love.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So that's why I agree with Shanice. But I also do think that if you're the only person, like even if you're not dating the person, you're like, oh shit, like I think I'm in love with this person, I love this person. Is it because you're just infatuated with the person? You love the idea of the person.
And that's my thing. Is it infatuation? That's why I say I don't know if I've ever been in love or not. Because me saying that, oh, I think I love this person, but this person didn't love me back. Was it indeed infatuation? So what was it? Like, I don't know if that was love. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like I feel like the fact that I have to question whether it was love or not tells me that it wasn't love. Do you understand? I feel like if you're in love with someone, you don't have to, like, I love my parents. Do you understand? I love my siblings. I love you guys. There's no if buts about it. Me and my brother can argue, from the start of the day to the end of the day. But if someone looks at him sideways or something, I'm gonna be like, what do you say? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what? You trying to like shut up about him? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I completely agree with you. I think because we're not you and we were not in your heart and in your mind, we don't know if it was infatuation for you. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's no, but I just think in general, forget that it's me. In general, was that love or was it infatuation?
It's hard to answer if we don't know the full story.
Yeah, we don't know you. And it was your situation. So obviously there are other factors.
Exactly.
But was this only once? This
has only been once that I felt like I was in love.
It's funny because I feel like you have to feel that twice to know. So there's been a time where I felt like I've been in love. And then when I look at a relationship after that and I look back at the old one, I'm like, I wasn't in love. I thought I was. But when I realized what I have now, I'm like, no, I wasn't in love. That was lust or whatever it was. It wasn't love. Yeah. And I feel like that has to be more than once.
I think when you have, or when the whoever the person is has their next experience of contact with love, you're going to be able to tell the difference. You're going to be able to know, like, oh, okay, I was infatuated.
But this is my thing, right? So I started dating someone, who treated me like a lot better, and I realized I don't necessarily love him, but I realized this is how love should, like, the person who likes you is supposed to treat you a certain way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So going back to the infatuation thing, even though I haven't been in love since then or whatever, or even thought I was close to being in love, I think I'm able to tell the difference, and I know what love should be, if that makes sense. So I think that's why I always say to myself, well, was I in love or wasn't I?
Yeah, I think when you put the qualities of that person and whatever you got from that other person that made you feel like you love them into one person that's perfect, then it'll be love for you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's part of a person that you're liking, and that's more of a lust and infatuation type of thing. I know for me, I've gone through that infatuation phase. I know what it looked like. I know what infatuation is. I know what lust is. Like in my head.
Oh yeah, like, I know lust. But
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. But women ttrick ourselves into thinking lust is love sometimes. Yeah, and that's how we end up into this boxing situation.
Or we want it to be love,
and now you're in this toxic relationship, and it's like I can't leave him because I love him, but it's like really no, babe,
because you wanted it to be love.
Exactly. Exactly. I think people. And let me not say in a generalization. For me, like when I went into that lust stage, I was looking for something so desperately to hang on to, and I found that one thing, and I was like, okay, I love him now, or whatever. Even though I never said it, no matter what, I never said it to that person. But I was like, no, I love him. I'm sure I do, but I know I didn't. I just wanted something to call my own. And now that I'm older, boy, I know what love is, because it slapped me in the face, and I was like, oh shit.
I feel like I definitely know what the idea and the concept of love is. Yeah, so maybe it was a thing where I did. Thanks, guys. You guys are like, that's why sharing is caring is great. Okay, guys, because we get to express our feelings and we get to really talk about it out loud instead of it just being in our heads.
Yeah, that's why we encourage people to write in. You know,
which no one's done as of yet, but we will still be saying it every week till we get one person.
And it's coming.
It's coming, but like I said, I think because whenever love comes up, like conversation of love, I'm always like, should I speak, should I not speak? Because I really do know what love is supposed to be like, but have I experienced that? Probably not. Can love be one-sided? it probably was for me in that situation. Yeah.
Imagine if we sat up here and said, nah, girl, that wasn't love. No, because you're your own person and the feelings you feel are valid and they're real. So for anybody, even if it's a therapist, for anybody to sit there and say that wasn't love, they don't know what they're talking about because they didn't experience what you experienced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question for you guys, are you guys telling me that you can be in love and then you can fall out of love? You can love someone and then you can hate them the next year. Like, is that possible? Or if you've loved someone, are they always going to be there?
If you've truly loved someone, even if you hate them and you're not together, there's always a silver of love for them.
I don't think you can hate someone that you love. I think you can dislike things about them, but I don't think them as a person you can fall out of love with them. Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, so you're saying that if, for example, you thought you've loved someone and now you dislike them, don't speak to them, whatever, like you completely whatever, then that means you wasn't in love before?
Not necessarily.
I think so.
Not necessarily. So even if you dislike them, you have your own reason for disliking them. Maybe some women, for me personally, if I loved someone and I truly believed I liked someone and then I decided to dislike them or I don't like them the next minute, it's because I'm trying to fall out of love with them. I've made a conscious decision that I don't want to have these feelings anymore.
Okay, but you're saying you're trying to fall out of love. When you're in the moment, you can definitely be like, I hate them. I'm done with them. But when it's like 2 years later, like love, can you fall out of love with someone? Can you stop loving someone? Or are you always going to love that person?
You are. Not as much as you did, but you're always going to have
some love.
But you're always going to have some love for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this goes back to my first question. I guess that is dependent. I guess that depends. Then if that happens to you, that's how you know if you was in love.
You know true love.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
did we answer your question?
Yes. Yes. I was in love. However, I'm no longer in love. However, I still got some
love for him.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm no longer in love. No longer want to be in that love.
You know what I love? I love that we went all around the circle to just figure out that this girl was in love.
Well, this is Timezone, and like I said, we're in different zones of our lives, and even though I'm 25, I'm still questioning whether I was in love or not. You know, it's normal.
Girl, it's a good thing to be in love.
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely a healthy thing. Some people might say it's not healthy. Some people can be in love with you to the point where it's like borderline obsession.
Yeah.
At that point.
But then again, is that love or is that obsession? There's a difference.
So my idea of this is like, I feel like love can manifest into different things depending on the person. So you can start off loving the person and then it can turn into obsession with the person. Because I personally feel like it can be like that. And you can love a person and then it turns to lust and vice versa. So you got to be really careful.
No,
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I was with you on that last statement. I don't think love can turn into love.
You don't think love can turn into lust?
No, I think lust can turn into love. I don't think love can turn into lust. That's bullshit. That means you never love the person.
So you think lust can turn into love? How?
Yes.
How?
Because, for example, let's say you have a sex buddy, whatever, you're fucking, and then all of a sudden you're like, do you know what? I actually really like this person. I actually get along with this person. We actually have a friendship, and then you end up getting together, and then you end up being with each other. That's turned into love. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I don't think you can start off loving someone and being like, I love you, and then all of a sudden it turns to lust. No. It's either going to continue to be love and not be as desirable, like Shanice said, not be as like, you're not going to be as in love with that person as you used to be, but you can't go from love to lust. You can't.
So,
I don't think you can.
So to play on what you just said, if you were fucking somebody, blah, 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 and you're like, oh shit, I really do love this person, blah, blah, blah. To play on what you just said previously, what if the person does not feel the same way? Is it still love for that person?
I can't tell you. In that moment, you can't be told.
You can't tell.
Or not. Like you guys said, you can stop loving someone to that extent, but you're still going to love them. You're still going to have some type of love for them.
Okay. Good point.
So that's why I say that. See, I learned.
I can't.
No, I definitely agree with you, Inks. I don't think love can turn into lust. It almost seems quite backwards to me. Thank you for tuning into our third episode of the Timezone podcast. Hope you guys have been enjoying our content so far, and hope to see you guys next week.
Also, for sharing is caring bit, if you have anything you want our advice on, or you have questions or dilemmas that you'd want to share anonymously, of course, please send them to TimeZonePodcast2020@gmail.com. And again, that is TimeZonePodcast2020@gmail.com.
Okay, guys. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram and all of our handles really are TimeZonePodcast, but the podcast is spelled with a 0. Okay, so that's TimeZonePodcast spelled with a 0. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love for you guys to interact with us. We've been hearing privately, people have had some nice feedback in that. And, you know, one person in particular, guys, said it would be nice if we had some male representative, on this show. So, okay, if you would like to hear a man's opinion, you need to email us, and you need to state that. Explain to us why you would like to come on the show and why you think maybe a man's presence would be good in some aspects for some topics, okay? So don't forget to hit us up, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
You're locked in to the Time Zone podcast.